Fellas, AC here. Welcome to another review. Today I'm going to talk about an absolute masterpiece from the house of Tom Ford. This is the part of the Tom Ford private collection, and it has been in existence since 2007. One of the most finest tobacco fragrances in the market, and it's so beautifully made. I like to call it a masterpiece. Absolutely beautiful fragrance, beautiful execution, and superb compliment magnet. Just amazing. So, Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille. Now, I am a massive fan of the opening, and I've never got a full bottle. I've always got decants, and I get 10 ml decants. It lasts me about 2 seasons, and I don't want to invest in such a huge amount on one fragrance because I like to spread my cost. Otherwise, I won't be able to do the reviews. I buy everything. I don't get any free bottles. So, what a beautiful opening, guys. It's just amazing. This is very fizzy when it opens up, right? And you get a whole host of things. A very woody, fizzy opening with tobacco combined with vanilla and combined with dry fruits and a hay-like note. It's a whole sort of pack of beautifully constructed, fizzy, woody opening. It's amazing. This has got a lot of Isoe Super, and you smell it. You smell Isoe Super when this opens. Very fizzy and woody kind of a smell. The nature of the fragrance is what surprised me. When somebody says tobacco and vanilla, both are heavy notes. And I've got tons of tobacco fragrances. I've reviewed quite a few. When somebody says tobacco, I think of a slightly smoky and heavy fragrance. Just the opposite. Beautiful, airy, rich, warm, airy, and superbly opulent. Just amazing, guys. Just an outstanding opening. It's an outstanding fragrance. The most amazing part of the fragrance is it gives you the whole experience. So initially you won't smell, this doesn't smell like a tobacco and vanilla fragrance. There's so many things going on. But as I explained, it's a very fizzy, woody, rich, warm, opulent kind of a jamboree, if you like. It's a whole mix of things, Dry fruit is the differentiator for me, because what dry fruit does to the fragrance is gives it depth and charisma. You don't expect dry fruits to sort of add what do you call charisma to a tobacco fragrance. Tobacco fragrances are normally sweet. This one isn't. It's slightly sweet, but not too sweet. And it also has a note of tonka. When the fragrance starts to dry down, you'll get all the nuances. So you'll get tobacco, fine tobacco, and in the middle, they've used tobacco blossom. Now, tobacco blossom is rarely used, and it basically has a very hay-like smell. Slightly hay-like smell and slightly leathery, I would say. The texture, not the smell. The smell is like hay. And I've reviewed another fragrance, which is Chergui, which I gave 10 out of 10. It has a note of hay. Now, this one doesn't smell like Chergui, but it has that beautiful hay-like quality when it starts to dry down. Towards the end, the fragrance brings in a little bit more of that vanilla, spongy vanilla, that sort of soft vanilla that you smell in very high quality vanilla fragrances. The ingredients used in these fragrances are just top notch. The execution is top notch. It's just beautiful. So the dry down is more about tobacco, vanilla, and slight hint of dry fruit, but there's not enough sweetness like excuse me, like you get in the opening stages. So it reduces in sweetness. It's a very beautifully composed symphony, and it just lasts and lasts and lasts. So, upsides and downsides. Number one upside is the composition quality. It's absolutely beautifully executed. Number two, versatility. You can wear this in any weather, guys, to any occasion. Yeah, to a romantic date, office, evening, night out. My biggest story about this fragrance in terms of, that's the third upside, compliments. I wore it to a gathering. It was before Christmas, and I sprayed 2 on my winter coat and 2 at the back of my head. And I was meeting a bunch of friends of mine, and it was a large gathering. Now, whenever I moved with my food, and it was basically a buffet system. So whenever I moved with my food, I was talking to my friends, I saw this group of people who were very close to me, sort of 2 or 3, I would say, yards away. They had this look on their face. All that food, they could smell my beautiful fragrance, and they had this look and saying, "No, what are you wearing? What is that fragrance? It's just amazing. That's the look they had. This fragrance has this beautiful effect on people. It's very affable, it's very modern, and it's very attractive. And that's the biggest selling point of this fragrance. It is expensive, but it's just beautifully, one of those fragrances that really impresses people, right? So that's the third upside. The fourth one is tremendous performance, guys. Apart from all the three I mentioned, the performance is absolutely fantastic. This is basically a 24-hour fragrance, right? You got to be very careful. It really has the capacity to overwhelm your senses because it has a lot of ISOE super. So if you go more than 2 or 3, I think you will kill your sense of smell, and you'll kill everybody else in the room if you're sitting in a closed room, especially to office. So I wouldn't go more than 2 on my shirt if I was to wear it on my shirt. So remember that you have to wear it right, otherwise it will overwhelm you. There's a lot of ISOE super here. So apart from those 4 upsides, the downsides, I think this is only one downside, and that is the value for money, because this is so expensive. Private blends, 100 ml, we're talking about 250 upwards. And when you spend 250 pounds on a fragrance, and if that scent is linear, it becomes a little bit of a hard sell, for me at least. So that's why I go for decants. When I spend 250 plus on a fragrance, I really like my fragrance to be slightly complex. That's the only downside. Age groups, any age group, guys. As long as you're slightly dressed up, smart casual to formal, this will suit you to the T. Any occasion, throw any weather, any occasion, it works. Summertime, I'll reduce the sprays because tobacco is probably not, and vanilla is probably not the best note to wear when it's really hot. But summer evenings, if you're dressed up, taking your girlfriend out for a nice meal, I wouldn't shy away. It's so beautiful. It has this feeling of comfort, of confidence, of really quiet confidence and glowing sex appeal. That's how I'd summarize it. It's really beautiful. So I think I've covered all aspects, numbers, marks. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. The only reason I've removed one is slightly medium to low value for money, but you can circumvent that by buying small decants, 10 ml, you can get it for 20 bucks. It's a beautiful addition to your collection, and it's a very smart way of expanding your portfolio of scents, your scent wardrobe. So 9 out of 10. Hope you like the review, fellas. Take care. Bye-bye.